Hey folks, and welcome back to Broadside Gaming with me, Zug. So this is the third Zealot build. I have no idea what these videos are going out in what order. I haven't decided yet, so it might be the first, it might be the fifth, who knows. So this is the Martyr build. We'll start with the weapon. Of course, mobility is the dump. Everything else is at 80. Perk-wise, carapace and unyielding to help deal with bosses. We don't need too much help in this build of dealing with flak or unarmored. The breakpoints are pretty generous here. Blessings wise, we're going with cranial grounding and rampage. As I said in the other builds, if you do not like those blessings, you can change them. They are not make or break. This is just what I prefer to play with and what I found to be the most efficient way of using it, but you can change them. Next up, we're using the Spearhead Bolt Gun. Mobility is the dump. Do not trust anyone that tells you reload speed is the dump, because you'll spend the rest of the match reloading the gun. Perk-wise, we're going with Flak and Unyielding. Gives us a nice broad base to work from with this gun. Blessings-wise, we are going with Pinning Fire and Shattering Impact. Shattering Impact gives us rending. Pinning Fire just gives you flat damage on stagger, which this gun does in droves. And then we've got the curios. All three are +1 wound, as this is a martyrdom build. 1 and 3 are twinned with 5% toughness, 4% combat ability regeneration, and 12% stamina regen. And the middle one is toughness, combat ability regen, and damage resistance to snipers. We are missing damage resistance to gunners here. If you want to, you can take off the stamina regen on 1 or 2 of these and put in gunner resist. Depends what you want. Though this build does inherently have a lot of defense, so we can somewhat mitigate not having the damage resistance on there. Speaking of the build, let's jump in and take a look. It's pretty similar up the top. We've got Backstabber. Don't really care about the backstab hits, but the flanking hits are what's important to us, because you're not going to be standing toe-to-toe trying to one-on-one things. You're going to be running around, smacking things from all different angles, so this is going to give us a big boost to it. Then we've got Disdain, 5% damage on next melee attack for each hit. It stacks up 5 times. Second Wind replenishes 15% toughness on successful dodge. You should be dodging a lot. Enemies within, enemies without replenish 2.5% toughness per second while within 5 meters range of an enemy. Increased by 1% per monstrosity counts, per enemy, sorry, monstrosities count as 5. Max is 7.5%. Purge the Unclean, damage increased against infested and unyielding enemies. And then we've got our Blitz ability. Again, you can pick whichever the hell one you want. I just prefer the Immolation Grenade. The Stunstorm Grenade is utility and survivability. It stuns everything. The Blades of Faith is to take out specialists very quickly. It gives you the ability to snipe. And Immolation just lets you deal with hordes. And it's quite good damage on monstrosities as well. Now we have the middle section of the tree. We've got Until Death. Fatal damage instead grants you invulnerability. When Until Death ends, you regain health based on the damage you dealt during Until Death. Sustained Assault, 4% melee damage for 5 seconds on hitting an enemy with a melee attack, stacking 5 times. Desperation, up to 20% melee damage based on missing stamina. 10% melee attack speed. Thy Wrath be swift. Enemies' melee attacks cannot stun you. On taking damage, you gain movement speed. And then we've got Providence, revival speed, and it's just good to help your teammates sometimes. Good balance, successful dodges, grant 25% damage reduction. You should be dodging all the time. Benediction, 15% toughness damage reduction for you and your allies. Incoherency. Again, you can pick whichever one of these you want. As you can see, every route is open to us. It doesn't matter. Then we're going into Fury of the Faithful. This is going to allow us to launch into melee, give us a big defensive and offensive buff, and also give us guaranteed crits. Unleashing Fury, killing elite or specialist within 5 seconds of using it. Fury of the Faithful restores 20% ability cooldown, maximum once per use. This isn't 100% necessary like Redoubled Zeal is, so if you really want to, you can dump this point out, but it's useful. Redoubled Zeal gives you 2 charges of it, and now we're going down into the Martyrdom tree. Toughness damage reduction into Bleed for the Emperor. Damage that would take your health to the next wound is reduced by 40%. Martyr's Purpose, up to 50% ability cooldown reduction, regeneration based on missing health, max reached at 25% current health. 25% is about where we want to be. Faith's Fortitude, 2 more wounds. Restoring Faith on taking damage, heal 20% of that damage, and it occurs over 4 seconds. And then we've got Martyrdom itself, plus 10% melee damage for each missing wound, up to a maximum of 5 missing wounds. I Shall Not Fall. Martyrdom grants 7.5% toughness damage reduction per stack. Martyrdom grants 6% attack speed per stack. And then Restorative versus Martyrdom grants 5% toughness replenishment per stack. All of this is making us incredibly tough. This is not the easiest build to learn, but it is very, very rewarding once you have learned how to use it. I was once accused of making a meme build by suggesting trying out Martyrdom. Not many people use it, but it is a very, very good build. It's just, you know, a lot of give and take. You have to be willing to get yourself damaged and then run at very low health to benefit from all of these. And before somebody jumps in and goes, oh, well, Martyrdom's just defensive. It only helps when you take damage. Yes, you want to take damage. You want to be damaged. This build is not for, right? This is not, Martyrdom does not work like this. It is not for staying at 100% health the entire match, and only if you accidentally get damaged, then you benefit. No, we want to be damaged, which is why we take so many wounds, right? You want to take that damage because then you benefit from the buffs. This is not purely defensive. It's the opposite. It's completely offensive. So you want to get yourself damaged, not to a stupid amount, not to, you know, so you die, but you want to get at least 4 of the wounds knocked off. Preferably 5, but 5 is a little sketchy if you're not used to playing it. Because once you hit that point, you are then at your most dangerous and at your toughest because of everything that Martyrdom gives you. Yeah? Understand? It's just, I'm not having this conversation again with people that don't understand that Martyrdom is not an oh shit button. That it's only effective if something's gone wrong and then you drop down to that health. No. You want to be at that health for the longest period of time. Ideally, you want to be at -5 wounds for the entire match and then take no more damage. The entire reasoning behind this build is to get yourself that hurt almost immediately and then spend the rest of the match dodging and murking everything you can and not taking any damage. Okay, it's a very simplified sort of way of looking at the Martyrdom build, but that's in the Cliff Notes version. That's kind of how it works. If you want a much longer explanation of it, please watch my previous video where I talked about this in length and debunked some of the weird, oh, you're making a meme build comments. But anyway, that's Martyrdom for you. It's super fun and very effective. In-game, by the way. I talk about this in-game before anyone jumps down my throat about that for using the goddamn word. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, folks. If you've enjoyed, please do like and subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. It really does help us out. And I shall see you all for the next one. We do have 2 more Zealot builds to look at. What order you're going to be seeing this in is going to be completely random because I'm probably going to forget which order I record them in, to be honest. But there will be Ogrim builds, there will be at least 2 Psyker builds, there will be Veteran builds, and there will be our BTs builds. As I promised everyone, there are going to be more builds on the channel. That's it. I hope you come and join me for more builds. So until then, take it easy. I shall see you later.